pecan, oat, and dark chocolate chunk cookies. They're outrageously good. You'll be shocked to learn they're actually vegan. Finely ground pecans, and I have to grind my pecans, 2 cups of them. Fresh pecans, please. Grind them in the food processor. The pecans act as the flour, while the dark chocolate adds a pop of bold flavor, and it bumps up the antioxidant levels of the cookie. So grind these up. And just grind them until they're finely ground. Don't over-process into a pecan paste. We don't want a paste. We want more like a flour. That looks very good. And we have 1 cup of rolled oats. Again, make sure your oats are fresh. And this will be the base of your dry ingredients, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch. Very sticky cornstarch. A 1/2 teaspoon of coarse salt. And 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That's a 1/2 and a 1/2 of a 1/2. And you can just stir this up together. So these are your dry ingredients. Once you get these blended, we need 3 ounces of a dark chocolate. So you could use bittersweet or semi-sweet. And I have found that the easiest way to make chunks is just with a serrated knife. We want like 1/4-inch chunks. You could substitute semi-sweet bits too if you have those. Now the reason I put some cornstarch into the dry ingredients, it adds structure to baked goods, and this can be helpful when they lack the glue of gluten. The cornstarch acts like flour and it absorbs liquid. So now put your chocolate bits in there too. Stir this all together. Chunky and wonderful. Okay, so now add 1/4 cup of maple syrup. This is our sugar, and maple syrup acts as sweet as sugar. It is tasty, and if you have organic maple syrup, all the better. Do not use artificial maple syrup. 1/4 cup of the best olive oil you have, and a 1/2 teaspoon of the best vanilla. And so now just stir this up. It is a crumbly, lovely, chunky dough. You can barely call it a dough. We have no eggs, no dairy, purely vegan. Very nice. Now, we're going to put the cookies on parchment-lined baking sheet. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees. And I'm using a 1/4 cup scoop for this. And this should make about 10 cookies. Really, I'm pressing it to the side of the bowl and with my hand. You could keep a little bowl of water next to you too if you want to use wet fingers to press. It's a little sticky and will stick to you. Now you could also incorporate into this cookie a dried fruit. Pieces of dried apricot would be awfully good with the chocolate. Dried cranberries would be delicious. Now rinse your hands, get them a little bit moist, and just flatten the cookie a little bit. It does help to have a wet hand. This helps compress the ingredients together and will certainly make all the cookies uniform so that they will bake at the same time. They're going to take about 20 minutes to bake, and while baking you can turn the baking sheet halfway until they're done. Set your timer. So transfer the cookies to a rack as they come out of the oven. Let them cool completely, and then you can try to get them into the cookie jar. But if the kids are coming home from school, or you happen to desire a cookie, you might settle for 1 or 2 or 3 of these. These will not last long. Enjoy.